praise Yahweh Shem Yosha Bashim Rakakadash. Honors that elders and apostles, men on truth, went down regarding truth and knowledge, and men alike regarding truth and knowledge. The wadi Yahweh Shem Yosha, so we can know regarding this truth and knowledge, so we can learn this truth and knowledge. The wadi for putting the spirit of elders, apostles, men in truth, and like-minded men on down regarding, so we can know this truth. And call Yahweh Shem Yosha Bashim Rakakadash. We're going to praise Yahweh Shem Yosha Bashim Rakakadash. This is going to be something short. There was an incident I've seen. I was in the neighborhood area. Jake, he got stopped by two cops, right? Riding a bike in the middle, and pretty much he's warning them to not ride the bike in the middle like that. You know what I mean? And so they gave pretty much a warning. And Jake, the other Jake, he had a camera. He was filming it, man, and he pretty much cussing out. He's pretty much harassing the cops, man. You know what I mean? Tell them F you, F you, Cops got back in the truck, unmarked vehicle, van, pickup. Sometimes they ride like that. And they laughed at it because really the reality is, man, they ain't gonna, it's a joke to them, man, because if there were different types of personality of cops, they probably could have did something to them, man, just for mouthing off, man. And some cops will do that, man. Ezekiel 21, that the cops, that left-hand side, that sword, that refurbished sword, the cops are the Lord's part of that establishment on left-hand side, or the Lord's on left-hand side, man. They part of that left-hand side of the Lord, man. So the cops could have did something to him, because Jake don't use wisdom, man. You know what I mean? He don't use wisdom, man. You know what I mean? Even if he might have been justified to do it, it might not have been wise to do it, man. You know what I mean? I'm gonna give a few scriptures, right? You know what I mean? And he was in the residential areas, people around, and they probably ain't feel like getting involved in it. But if he would thought twice if that was in a different area, specifically one of them hillbilly areas. I don't think he would have did that. You know what I mean? I think he would have thought twice. But the point is, man, there's a scripture here that talks about, I want to get that, before I get Ecclesiasticus, I want to get 525 of 525 of Matthews. Agree with thine adversary quickly while thou art in the way with him, unless he at any time the adversary deliver thee to the judge deliver thee to the officer, and thou be cast into prison, man. So there's levels of it, man. The cops they have the power. They have a pistol, they have a gun, G-U-N. They can do a lot of things to you, man. And Jake, I see Jake's mouth all talking stuff to the police. Now the police are not always innocent, and neither is Jake, man. But in this situation, Jake was wrong because he meddled in something that was unnecessary to meddle in, man. You know what I mean? And you see a lot of that because he don't use discernment and wisdom, man. It wasn't none of his business, man. And really, there's nothing going on like that, man. The point is, man, that's, meddle not in a man's other matters, man. I'll get that scripture. That's Ecclesiasticus or Sirach 11 and 10, man. I'll get it. So agree with thine adversary, because they are in a position of power. They can do certain things to you, man. If it was a different situation, maybe nobody around, nobody in a non-residential area, they could have different type of disposition on them, on the two cops. They could have jacked Jake up, man. They could have messed his ass up, man. Excuse my language, man. They could have messed him up, man. Be lucky there were people out there, man, paying attention. So he's lucky that there were people out there. Shalaki for these skateboarders. So he lucky that there's somebody out there, man. Talking about F you and all that. he got the camera like it's pointed to film the police. You know what I mean? Like they laughing at it. They walking back in their truck laughing. He said, "Have a nice day," and he said, "Screw you." You know, they were cool about it. You know what I mean? But Jake, man, that's why he gets caught up sometimes with police, man, in certain situations, man. Because really, on certain levels, he's wicked anyway, man. He's wicked. So sometimes the Lord has using that police on that left hand side as that sword against the wicked Jakes, man, which would be of a certain people, man. (9 and 13). Let's go to scriptures, man. Scriptures tells you about how to deal with certain things. Keep thee far from the man that has the power to kill. That's a very important line right there, man. Why you keep away from them? Because they can take you out, man. They have the power, they have the badge, man. And mouthing off at them is not good common sense, man. Especially when they really can do certain things. And a lot of times, sometimes, in most cases, majority of times, they can get away in doing it, man. Back in the days of pottywoggers, the ancient type police, they got away with doing stuff like that because they could do that, man. Keep thee far from the power that the man that has the power to kill, so shall thou not doubt the fear of death. And if thou come into him, make no fault unless he take away thy life presently. Remember that thou goest in the midst of the snares, and that thou walkest upon the battlements of the city. I'm gonna make this quick. I don't want to make a long lesson out of this through the Spirit. The prudent man foresees the evil and hideth himself. The wise man, but the simple pass on and punish. Simple gonna get caught up and get punished, man. That's 27 and 12. Go to 22 and 3. So you had to be a prudent man, especially in these evil times, man. A prudent man foreseeth the evil and hideth himself, and the simple pass on and are punished. 22:3 of Proverbs, 22:12, 22:3 of Proverbs, 27:12 of Proverbs. My son, meddle not with many matters, for if thou meddle much, thou shalt not be innocent. So you meddle in too many affairs or things that's not really of your business or your concern, you're not going to be innocent in the eyes of the Lord, man. You're not going to be innocent, period, man. And depending on that type of situation, it could be a high risk. Even your life can be threatened by it, man. It could be at risk. Your life can be at risk. And if thou follow after, thou shalt not obtain, neither shalt thou escape by fleeing. Just like that individual that one of the men in the truth did talk about a video, trying to be a vigilante, talking about chasing SOs or child offenders, ones who are have SOs or child offenders, trying to chase them, and he ended up getting shot, man, because he meddled in many affairs that wasn't of his concern, and he wasn't found innocent, man. And Jake has a problem, he jumps in certain things. He don't use wisdom, man. Because he can do it doesn't mean it's always wise to do it. What's that scripture? I'm gonna make this short. Let me try to find this. Here we go. 1 Corinthians 10 and 23. For all things are lawful for me, but all things are not expedient. Let's get that word expedient, man. Expedient meaning in a matter of here we go. Expedient of an action convenient or practical, although possibly improper or immoral, convenient, advantageous, in one's own interest. It really is in one's own interest, man. Jake ain't doing it because he's doing it because it's for something else, man. Measures, means, method, stratagem, scheme, man. Take one's own advantage, useful use, service, profitable, benefit, gain, effective. Point is, some expedient, convenient, practical, but possibly improper or immoral, man. So it may be lawful, but it may be lawful to do it, but is it, and it might seem convenient, but is it practical and wise, man? And it can, from the optics, it may not be a good thing, man. So let's go back to that scripture. All things are lawful for me, but all things are not expedient. All things are lawful for me, but all things edify not. Edify goes to instructing, educating, building, teaching, man. So things could be lawful to do, but are they wise to do it? They might even seem convenient, but is it practical? It may be lawful, but does it teach or help? Is it benefit in some way as far as edification? You know what I mean? In this society, man, a lot of things from the optics might seem lawful, you know what I mean? But is it proper, or is it proper or moral, or is it wise to do it? For example, we use dress. You can wear certain things, you know what I mean? It may be lawful to wear certain things, but is it wise to wear certain things in certain areas, man? You know what I mean? It's lawful. You can wear what you wear. You can wear what you want as long as you ain't naked. But the point is, I'm making a point on this. It might not be, certain clothing might not be appropriate, man. You know what I mean? Even though it might be lawful in a way where you can wear that, but is it wise to wear it in certain areas, man? Because it can draw, for example, I'm just using this hypothetically, it can draw unnecessary, unwanted attention, man. You know what I mean? So it's about, in a nutshell, it's about using discernment, using wisdom. That goes into that wisdom, discernment, and common sense, man. That could be applied to both men and women, man. Both genders, man. Because both are not exempt from that, man. So in this situation, man, it could have been a dangerous situation for that Jake, especially when you mouthing off at the powers to be, man. You know what I mean? Romans talk about 13 talk about obeying the powers and the government and powers, man. For the most part, because the Lord set those up, man. That's the Lord who ordained those to be in a position of power. For the most part, you obey them, man. So mouthing off on them may not be a wise thing, man. That being said, this is something short, you know what I mean? That's just, you know, relating to somewhere in Florida. I've seen that, you know what I mean? You know, pretty much in the hood area, in a matter of speaking, you know what I mean? So anywhere else, you know, you're going to see that, because you see a lot of whatchamacall, and you know, you see certain things in certain areas, you know what I mean? You also see a certain law enforcement in those certain areas, because you know certain areas, certain things happen. But the point is, it was, I'm just using that situation to make a vital lesson, you know what I mean? To warn it for Jake, man. Use common sense, man. Especially dealing with the police, man. I did videos on this. You know, I don't do too many videos on this. You know what I mean? But once in a while, it needs to come out. Use wisdom dealing with the police, man, because they're in the position of power. Let me get Ezekiel 21. That's what I forgot. Because that's the Lord's left-hand side, man. Or Lord ordained of. Son of man, prophesies and say, thus saith the Lord, say, a sword is sharpened, a sword is sharpened, also refurbished. Refurbished goes to pretty much revitalize, pretty much make new again. It is sharpened to make a sword slaughter. So that sword, which is the Lord's left-hand side, is to make a sword slaughter, man. It's sharpened to make a great slaughter, man. It is furbished that it may glitter. So it's going to be like new, man. That, should we make mirth of it? And that's a question. Should you make light of it, man? Should you joke about that? It contempteth the rod of my son in every tree, and he have given it to be furbished, that it may be handled. This sword is sharpened, it is refurbished, and is given into the hand of the slayer. And the hand of the slayer is the wicked, man. And really, it's the Lord on the left-hand side using the wicked to slay, man. So, the left-hand side is the Lord's. The right-hand side is the Lord's. And the Lord controls both sides equally, for the most part. And the greater of the equals on the right-hand side. You can understand that. That being said, I want to give all praise Yahweh Bashem Yoshai Bashem Makakadash Zayah Woshawa.